Hello everybody, how are you all doing tonight? It's October the 5th, 11:30 p.m. Central Standard Time here in Manitoba, Canada. And we're going to do a very detailed Elliott Wave Bitcoin technical analysis today and keep it extremely professional. But before we do so, I wanted to give you guys a quick little tease about what's going on here, okay? So I've been working diligently on two projects. One is the Baby Whale Club. It's an exclusive and limited 50 club slot to live trade with me with full question and answer. Yes, there's a fee with it, but I want to be clear that the fee for the 50 people combined does not even equal an engineer's salary, nor is it even worth my time to do this when you think about it from a salary perspective. But the reason I'm doing this is because I'm very much so looking forward to molding 50 people, and there will be an application process that you'll have to go through in order to earn a spot. And it will not be based on the size that you play. And the second thing, guys, is the Baby Whale brand. It's going to be clothing that makes you feel proud of your journey and the help I may have provided. So stay tuned. The website's already up and running. And I'll show you guys the logo at the end of the video. But without further ado, let's get into a Bitcoin technical analysis. So looking at the market cap right now, the BTC dominance is still under 70%. I'm always hoping for something over 70%, of course. And we look at the 24-hour change, and we see that it is very much so sideways for a while now. We got TRX that's moved 3.52% in 24 hours. But other than that, you know, there's Cosmos. I'm not familiar with that at all yet, but I don't really care about market caps that are less than, $1 billion. They're not worth my time. I wouldn't even touch anything within a 10-foot pole unless it's got over, say, $6 million volume on an exchange for me to actually trade on. And then I go to a 24-hour. These are the two typical things that I always recommend doing. Just kind of glance at CoinMarketCap and see what kind of change. If something is really down 10% in 24 hours, you might want to consider a long opportunity sometime soon, or you might want to be considering an entry in general for a long, right? It's just kind of the mentality. And then if something spiked up 10% and you missed it, well, you can actually try to catch a short opportunity as well. And then the next thing that I do is I go to 24-hour volume, okay? And then the 24-hour volume, what we see, I'll go to historical data after that, and then what you see is, well, the volume is actually waning off right now. It's slowly drifting. Since the beginning of the month, actually, since the beginning of last month, sorry guys, I don't have anything else wet right now, so I have to get a little smudge on my glasses here. So anyways, so yeah, if you notice, since October the 1st there, we've been declining from about $17 billion of volume here all the way down to $12 billion on average so far today. So not the best volume, of course, right? So that's for October the 5th, right? October the 5th is it closed already, the daily closed already. So we're gonna see how this is gonna end up. So CoinMarketCap not really giving us a whole lot of information, okay? So now we're gonna do a very detailed Elliott wave count for you guys. And this is very simple, the way that I'm seeing this here, okay? So the way that I'm seeing this, first of all, when we start off our Elliott wave count, is like this. Just a 1, a 2. This is most likely a 3 somewhere in here, okay? 3, and that's a 5, right? If you go to like another 2-day chart or something, it's very difficult to refute that, in my opinion, as well. The wave 1 was extremely small, and the wave 3 was extremely bullish. The wave 2 ended up retracing at about 786, but the wave 3 ended up retracing about not even 382. So it's a really bullish one. And another thing that I always need to do is I always need to confirm exactly where this Fibonacci structure currently is. And the Fibonacci structure, as it stands right now, is actually right between the 0.5 and the 618 level. So pretty decent in my opinion. Now we're going to catch everybody up and break down this specific structure so we can all be on the same page. So I haven't taken any trades since the last time you guys saw me take a live trade. There's been nothing to trade. I live traded a few days ago. I made 2 pretty awesome trades. Where was it actually? Yeah, I haven't made a trade since October the 1st actually, okay? And which is about 4 days now, but that's okay. I'm waiting for a big opportunity. I made $344 very easily off of A small account too. It was like under 5 grand, my trades. So I always like to let trades come to me rather than chasing a trade. Because if you constantly chase a trade, well, sometimes you might force yourself to take unnecessary trades that's just leaving you in a bad position, right? So, you always want to be on the right side of a trade. Do you know how you know you're on the wrong side of a trade? If you're not making money. Simple as that, right? So we got that specific count, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to break down this specific structure here. Now this one right here was no doubt an A, B, and a C, like that. And I just like to test things for fun as well by taking a Fibonacci extension. And this one actually ended up hitting like literally a 1-to-1 extension, which was just really, really amazing. And have you noticed here that of course we were getting, we're getting this right here, a bounce at the 382 Fibonacci region. Okay, and then here I see this as an A, B, C going to the upside, but a failure. Okay, now an X is usually denoted by a wave failure. So if you see an X structure, it's usually a denotation of a failure of an impulse wave going to the upside. That's how I interpret it, okay? So then the way that I'm seeing this is this, that every time a failed wave occurs, there's going to be another Elliott wave structure known as a double zigzag coming to the downside. So then we're looking and hunting for another structure that's going to give us some sort of ABC. Where is it going to be? I'm really banking on above that particular region, but realistically I think we're going to find some ridiculous support above, like anywhere between even 6K to 7K, and I'll show you the logic behind it as well and why I believe that. Everything that I think is always based on empirical evidence rather than a feeling. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to trade based off of feelings. You want to trade off of irrefutable facts and empirical evidence that you just can't argue against. So then the way that I see this right here is, so this is the first ABC. So this is the first W, okay? This is the X right here. W, to me, implies the origin of the next impulse wave after the ABC zigzag has occurred, okay? So because the ABC finished right here, that means that the W location is there. So you started from where the original top was, and then you choose W as where the ABC ends, and then X is the denotation of the failure. Oh, I'm sorry, I took the wrong one. I meant to do right here. That's W right there. That's X. And then we got, a 5-wave structure here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's the 5 coming down, in my opinion, right? And then this is an ABC going up, or the 5 could even be here, right? But either way, I think we argued that last time, where the B could have even been here, and then we have a really ugly ABC, but it works out fine as well, like that. That is very likely as well. Either way, it works out to be perfect in terms of this specific count, okay? So now that we've isolated this region even more, what we're going to do is break it down even further, okay? So I like Elliott wave theory, and I know I haven't done it for a long time with you guys, but the reason I really like it is because it's a really good way of deducing and using a step-by-step process of elimination guide, right? And this way you can actually just deduce a possible path. Now, you're not going to get the perfect path. It's not going to outline everything for you. But what it can do is just give you some sort of direction and clues to what it could maybe not be. Not what it is, but what it could not be. That's kind of how I see Elliott wave theory, right? So now we're going to break this down further, okay? And I see this right here as a 1. I've broken this down a lot for you guys as well, okay? And then I'll see this as 1, 2, and I see this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3, 4, and now I see this as 5. I still see a wave up, guys, and I'm still going to say $8,800. Still bullish on that, okay? Now let me draw this out for you again. and explain to you my theory. Right, ready for this? Maybe it won't be that big. Maybe, you know, who knows? Like that, maybe. But it's not that proportional, which is what bothers me, okay? But that's sometimes how it is. You know, my argument would be, well, this is not a proportional 1 to 4. But then I ask myself, is this a proportional 1 to 4? Or you know what I mean? Or sorry, 2 to 4 is not proportional. But if you ask yourself, is this 2? You know, like, for example, proportional in any way, like, if you look at these, no, not really at all either. But it's unfortunately the way that we have to see it thus far, and the way that I'm seeing it as well. Okay? So now, the reason why I see this like that is, let me break it down, like, really break it down for you guys, okay? This is how I see it broken down here. So this is 2 going to 3, okay? And now, this is going to be 1. That's going to be 2. Okay. And now this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means that this is 3. That means that that is 4. And that is 5. Okay. Excuse the way it looks. It's so ugly. I'll actually end up making this a different, I'll do this to a smaller degree. I'll do a minute degree, and I won't show the waves, and I'll change it to white. How about that? A little bit better. That makes sense now? Okay. 1, 2, this is 3, 4, and 5. And if I break it down even more for you, between the 2 and the 3, it just goes 1, 2, 3, right? And that's at probably A, B, C. That's probably the 4 there. And that's the 5 right there, which completes the 3. So we're deducing these awesome paths, but for all we know, it could even be an alternate path, right? Therefore, if I have officially counted 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 waves, which we all have, right? Not only that, if you compare this peak to that peak, look at the RSI difference, RSI. So we've broken, like, let's see if we've even is this even an RSI resistance or something of some sort? No, nothing I see here. All right, so now, I don't like how this always disappears on the right, okay? Let me just reload my trading view here, because this happens sometimes. And I hope you guys stay tuned till the end of the video, so I can tell you a little bit more if you are interested in the private club or the t-shirts. And I think you're going to be incredibly happy with what you hear, and you're going to be proud of it as well, to be either a part of the club or to own the t-shirt. So anyways, so now that we've officially counted 1, 2, 3, right, and the third's finished, that means this, okay? That means that now what I want to do is take a Fibonacci retracement of just wave 3, okay? And bam, I will now easily do this, okay? And now let me explain even further to you, okay? Now that, like, this is setting up, honestly, it's setting up to go up. Like, there's no way to look at this right now for this particular wave, okay? It really is. If I don't really see things downtrend like that often, right? Where it's like gonna break to the downside. To me, I kind of see it like kind of a flagpole right here, okay? It's usually found on an A wave or a third wave, in my opinion, right? That's or even like it's found on any impulse wave, but usually it can be found on A waves as well, right? So this is kind of how I'm seeing. Do you guys see what I'm talking about? This formation right here, that's forming. Yeah. All right. So now we're gonna take the Fibonacci retracement of this right here, and what you can easily see is that people are starting to accumulate for this particular long, in my opinion. Okay. Because now we're at right here. We're at the golden ratio zone, and have you noticed that for this particular wave right here, every single time we've actually gone upwards, okay? Yeah, like every time we've gone, every time we've gone down and we've hit this 0.618 Fibonacci level, we're actually bouncing off of it pretty heavily. Like here's the first one, shot up 2%, second one, shot up 2%, then are we gonna get an ABC now? So now let's assume that we do get a bounce off of here. So what we do now is we take the Fibonacci retracement, or sorry, Fibonacci extension, okay? Extension of assuming a one-to-one, right? So now you can fluently say this to yourself. You say to yourself, and this is how you plan, guys. This is how you plan far in advance, right? Don't ever just react and you see something go up and you're like, FOMO, I'm buying, right? You can't really do that. You got to be able to anticipate what could possibly happen. I don't mean to just always predict. What I mean is like try to react as well, right? With a little combination of predicting as well, just based on some counts. But I'm a reactive trader, right? Not a predictive one. I do a lot better reacting in volatile moments, but at the same time, I'm also expanding my repertoire of skills, and I plan to, I plan to incorporate much more predictions as well by doing analysis like this to plan ahead. So now the way that I'm seeing this is, first of all, I do this, okay? Let me show you guys. I'm gonna delete all of this and I'm gonna show you it again, okay? So I am assuming that this is the official Fibonacci retracement range of wave 2 to 3, okay? Wave 2 to 3. Fair to say that? And you know, here's a conservative target of mine always, 382. So let's just draw a little box there, right? And we'll just say above 8,700 or something like that, okay? That's the first thing I do automatically. The second thing that I do is I assume, or sorry, I take my Fibonacci retracement range of this specific structure only right here. Right there. Okay, I say to myself, wow, the 618 region is actually getting a good reaction. So there's a possible bounce. And then I say to myself this as well, that now 3 is officially formed, and I've counted the 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5 subwaves coming to the downside. That means there must be a 4th wave going up, right? Then that means that I'm looking for an ABC most likely first. A, B, but where's C? Big question mark is C, right? So now what I actually do, the last step, is I take my Fibonacci extension range, okay, like that. And what do I find? I'm looking for a 1-to-1 ratio. Yeah, let me just explain to you guys, just to catch up the people that may not know what Fibonacci extension ranges are, okay? I know to some of you guys it's really nothing. So what we're doing is we're taking a measurement of this movement and making it equal to this movement after the rally, right? So this price range, if that represented $1,000 that it went up, then this is also $1,000. That is a 1-to-1 ratio, okay? So we take Fibonacci extension from the bottom to where it ended to where the rally began. And then you say to yourself, that is what we call a 1-to-1 extension. It went up, you know, a certain amount, and then it went down, and then it went up the exact same amount that it went up before as well. So once again, that is called a 1-to-1 Fibonacci extension ratio. And because that 1-to-1 ratio was roughly 8,900 or something like that, 8,850-ish, right? And also because the other one right there, like the Fibonacci, this one, where is it? Hold on. Right here, okay. And that's also the 382, right? 382 is around 8,800, and the 1-to-1 extension is like 8,850, around there. So now I'm just going to assume that this is going to be the maximum range it can get up to if it gets up there. And we're talking like about 8,700 to 8,900. And I think a lot of bears, or people who might even be Elliott wave traders, they'll be very interested in shorting this particular price point. So these are my thoughts, guys, for the next week, okay? And this is kind of my short-term outlook. When I'm talking about short, I'm talking about like up to a week at most, okay? And then also the longer-term projection, right? I don't want to get too deep into that right now, but I firmly believe that we're gonna find some ridiculous support. Like I don't think that. I mean, I can make this video 5 hours long probably and talk about the failures that can get us back to over here. You know? Like, I legitimately could. I mean, for all we know is this, okay? We got a WXY already, right? But, like, once you get into, like, WXYZs, like, you know, it gets hard. I mean, just to give you a theory, right? What if we keep failing? Where this one already failed, and this is making another ABC. And where am I expecting the ABC? Around this congested area to bounce, okay? Like, I'm legitimately expecting it to hit after the 8,700 to 8,900. I'm expecting us to downtrend extremely heavily, okay? And you know, if you look on the daily, just as an example, right? The daily, we're probably gonna break back up to the upside to try to test that 200 moving average, which coincidentally is around 8750 as well. So then I'm legitimately expecting Bitcoin to hit the golden ratio. And then I don't know, right? Nobody knows if it's gonna skyrocket after that. But if it hits something like that, right, maybe it'll attempt another impulse wave up. And then maybe we'll just fail again. And then see you at 3K again. You guys know what I mean? And then all of a sudden we're getting these massive corrections all the way till 2020. Right? So then you get your ABC, you know, to wherever the heck that is, okay? Your ABC there. And then you get another ABC correction coming to the downside. And that would be like, hey, that's 3K right there. So that's just a small example. But you folks have my thoughts. My goal is to, you know, 8,700 to 89. But if I'm wrong for some reason, it's going to be very easy to tell, okay? If I'm wrong, easy, guys. We're just going to break this particular range right here. At around, I'm guessing, like, you know, if we break well below, if we get a really bad retracement, like, you know, if we retrace all the way down to, for example, 7,900 or back to 7,750 range, like way down here, I might be completely wrong, and that we're just gonna break well below it. But of course, if we break short term, this $8,100 range, of course we're gonna find support first at around 70. This low right there at 77.33. So that's the bearish side as well, where if we don't get a decent bullish retracement for this particular structure, then all bets are kind of off for something very bullish for 8,800-ish. And I would be more so leaning towards this kind of breaking to the downside, right? But I don't want to try to predict further than that. So one of two things is going to happen, in my opinion, right? Or three. One is sideways for a long time. Second is we break up to exactly what we've been talking about this entire video. And the third thing would be where we break below 8,100, and then we're going to test this fib range first at 79, right? And then if that fails, we'll hit 77.30 range. And that's basically all the three scenarios I can imagine in the very short time frame. And I'm sure there's many more, but that's maybe for you guys to figure it out, okay? So that concludes the technical analysis for the day. And we've summarized it fairly decently as well. And I just wanted to talk quickly about, first of all, let's talk about the t-shirt, guys. Okay, I'm going to show you guys the site. And this was all designed on my end, which was kind of cool, because I exposed myself to learn a lot of different things, right? So, yeah. But first of all, let me tell you a little bit about me, for those that don't know, right? So just imagine this for a moment, okay? Like, my family's from Laos, as you guys know already, okay? You guys know I'm from Laos. And just imagine, like, their whole family just saving up $20. This is getting very personal. And you guys, the technical analysis is done. Just talking a little bit about me personally, right? You know, my parents, they leave the country. We live in a refugee camp for, like they did for 5 years, where my brother and I were born, right? And eventually, I lived there for a year. And we eventually immigrated to Canada in 85. Yeah. Used to spend a lot of time disliking my folks, because I didn't really understand where their values come from when you contrast it with your Canadian friends that grew up, right? It's a very different culture. And in our culture, it's my brother's job to basically take care of my parents, the family. It's always the elder's job, right? Not mine. So, like we have no family in the world other than us four, just mom, dad, brother, and I. And both our grandparents passed away months before we were going to visit them for the first time in Laos. And did you guys know that that my brother actually 3 years ago he literally disappeared from the face of the planet, where not a single person that I know knew from like heard from him, not my parents, not any friends, you know. So one of three things happened: he was either murdered, he went into witness protection, or he chose to disappear for safety reasons that might have affected our family, because he came from a very different breed, if you know what I mean, than me. Like we're talking about being involved and stuff like that in other ways, right? And I'm pretty pissed off at him that he abandoned the family. And this was 3 years ago, right around the time that I got into crypto. That's right. And if it weren't for crypto, I wouldn't have been able to give my parents an excess of like literally 6 figures in cash. Just imagine that. Like they provided me everything. Like literally, like they provided me with everything in my life, and the satisfaction of cutting them a 6 figure check, made me pretty happy. They thought it was a joke. They had no idea how well I was doing back then, right? Like during that time. And the look on the bank teller's face when they sent their son to give them a present, pretty cool feeling. And if my brother ever contacted our family again, he would never be welcomed back if he was still alive. Because he put the burden on me. And I succeeded because I had no freaking choice. I had to persevere through all my adversity. And imagine the pressure on me of having to take care of my family. And that was around the same time I lost my job as well. So crypto was the most alluring profession that had the highest yield of returns. So spent 16 hours a day, over 1.5 years learning everything I could. And that is what you call heart, man. If you ain't got that, you ain't gonna make it. I know the difference between me and my friends. And I am a different breed of 1 in a million people when it comes to ethics and just wanting it so freaking badly that I'll do anything to get it, and I will remember my journey that I've gone through as well. Okay? And that's exactly what this Baby Will brand is. It's a reminder of your journey and all the hardships and the adversities that you've persevered through. Because I remember it. I don't even know how this baby whale thing came along, but it's kind of cool. And for those that don't know, a whale, like an elephant, the females actually lead the group. It's called a matriarchal community, right? And I guess a whale in the market is someone who plays big. I used to trade like $250,000 in front of you guys live, right? And yeah, so I guess I kept calling you guys my baby whale, and mama whale just caught on somehow by you guys. So I'm going to show you guys it, okay? I'm going to break down the cost of everything for you. This shirt is going to be $49.98 Canadian, which works out to be $37 American. It's a cheap shirt. The cost to produce this was almost $24 American because of the material that I decided to choose, right? And after hiring, etc., and just sourcing everything and production, it ended up becoming, it's not for profit, as you guys know. It's definitely not for profit, okay? And yeah. And 10% of the profits will actually be donated to a non-kill shelter. I can hustle off my face and sell 1,000 of these. It wouldn't even equal to the money that I make in 1 week of serious trading. So just put it that way, that it's not for profit, okay? And the material is phenomenal. The material is a tri-blend construction, okay? It's got 50% polyester, 25% comb ring spun cotton, and 25% rayon. I've ordered everything already. I don't have it quite yet. It'll be here in about 2 days. And I can't wait to show you guys my place with like literally 500 boxes here. I don't want to do the whole, drop shipment thing. I want to be very personal with you guys and not treat it like a business, okay? Like put it that way. And these are incredibly soft. You can wear it for a long time. You can wash it a lot, and it's gonna feel like silk on your skin. Because I actually went to the place already just to see the different fabrics, and I've seen this exact material. I've got a lot of clothing in this material as well, and I think you're gonna be very happy with it. I mean, it's a $38 shirt, but more importantly, it's super high quality. This you'll be able to wear for years to come. It'll last. I guarantee that, right? And as long as you take care of it as well. But not only that, this is going to represent the journey that you've been through. This Baby Will Club t-shirt is very limited, and I currently have no further plans to produce more. That's it, guys. This will probably be the last year. Everything is designed myself. It's actually really freaking cute. It's awesome. I'm going to be doing a little photo shoot with a bunch of my female friends in a few days or a week or something, as soon as they come in. And you guys are going to see some pretty cool videos, you know, made by professionals, right? They're all my friends, and they love to encourage what I do. So you guys are going to see a lot of, you know, a bunch of hot chicks doing a bunch of hot things, put it that way, okay? So this Baby Will t-shirt is very limited, and I currently have no further plans to produce more. This is a t-shirt to represent your journey through all hardships and the adversity you've persevered through. Every time you trade and wear this, it'll be a gentle reminder of to never give up, because you're part of my Baby Will Club, and we take care of each other. Simple as that, okay? So that's the first thing. $37. I'm literally making like about a $10 profit, and every dollar is going to go to, you know? So it's not really much profit if you really think about it, put it that way, compared to trading, right? So trust me when I say this is not for profit anyway. And second thing is, guys, that we talked about is the Baby Will Club, the exclusive and limited 50 club slot to live trade with me. And if you think of the cost of it, it'll probably be like, I'm guessing like $70 a month. 70 times 50 is $3,500, okay? And this is going to be a 40-hour-a-week job for me, 160 hours a week. That's not even more than my old engineering salary. So if you think about the time I'm investing for the private group, hell no, it's worth the actual profit. I'm not going to have an Eric Cho group. That's right, I said it. I'm not going to have an Eric Cho group, man. I don't even follow that guy anymore, just to be clear. Simple as that. I don't want to be the one that's doing everything bad in terms of just milking. I'm not saying he is. I'm saying that's what everybody does to a private group. Okay? They're trying to reel you in. They want to get the numbers up to 500 members, man. $80 a month. Oh, look at me. How much, you know, subscription profit. I'm not like that, man. My profits are from trading. My profits are from margin lending and my long-term investments. Not only that, I've been okay. I made enough in 2017-18, so it's time to kind of venture into new projects. So what I want you guys to know is that for the private group, it's going to be kick-ass, man. I'm going to be there with you guys about 8 hours, like 6 to, realistically 5 to 8 hours a day in the chat room. We're going to trade together if you want, right? And you guys can ask any questions that you want. But there will be a rule. If you ask me when to buy and when to sell, I will automatically kick you out of the group and keep your money. Because that's something that that's why there's going to be an application process, right? To see what your actual goals are. And if your goal is to think that you're going to join a buy and sell group, you are sadly mistaken. These 50 people, they will come out of here really, really good, okay? And I know for a fact that I'm going to hire at least maybe 5 of them, because then I'll eventually expand it to 100. And that is it. And then there's going to be 6 of us managing you 100 awesome traders, right? And I think that that's the way to go. It's going to be full of amazing support. That's something you guys want. You guys want support, and what you most importantly want is you want someone who's transparent, that's not going to be negative at the end of the month or lies about it, like I've seen some pieces of craps do. So anyways, I just want to give you guys a quick rundown of the 2 things that I have planned, and I hope this video wasn't too long in any way. The t-shirts will actually be launched on Monday, okay? So in 24 hours. It's going to be very limited. About maybe, I'm guessing 1,000, and that's it, man. And I'm going to cut it off until next production time, and we'll go from there. So anyways, hope you had a great time watching this video, or just in general taking something away from it. I hope you guys are interested in the t-shirts as much as I am interested in showing you it as well. I honestly cannot wait to get it. I'm giving you guys a tease. The color that I chose is charcoal black, true royal, white fleck, and orange, right? So this is the white one right there. It's pretty cool, man. This one is amazing. Yeah, this one is the white fleck. This one here is the charcoal black. This one is the true royal, and this one here is the orange. Yeah, these are, keep in mind, this is like a Bellis and canvas type of shirt, right? So they're incredibly well fitted, and there will be a female one for this as well, you know, with different measurements that you guys can go through. So I hope that you're excited as I am about everything, especially this year coming up. Maybe we'll have a nice bull market later, right? When everything comes to fruition and the C finishes for this WXY. So anyways, have yourselves a great night. Thank you very much for all the support and love as always, and I'll see you guys sometime very soon. Bye now.